I'm sorry, things got out of hand, okay? Everything people are saying about me isn't true. I'm an actor. I'm a voice actor. I'm a musician. Stop the steal. What people saw yesterday was me doing vocal exercises, me just kind of, putting myself out there for the first time. The industry just doesn't want a white male unless they're literally storming the Capitol. Obviously save the children and do a coup. But also, as important or even more important is to just try to build my socials. This is my American Idol. This is The Voice. I'm willing to learn and grow. I've been reading a lot of tweets about my behavior that are making a lot of sense to me. And I'm going back in my childhood and I'm going, yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. I'm the victim.
Let's at least be honest here and admit that he was great at costumes. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudkowski of WeAreChange.org. A lot of important, crazy news to get into today. It just keeps getting more wild as the first charges are just coming in for the people who stormed the Capitol. The U.S. president just announced that he will not be attending Joe Biden's inauguration. And now we're getting confirmation after conflicting news that, yes, a police officer did die of a stroke, but the exact details of what happened here are still unknown. But that's why in this video, we specifically will be talking about the major turning point and reaction to all of this, which will have severe ramifications for all of us. More crazy news also with Nancy Pelosi, and I think it's fair to say that the censorship is about to reach levels that we have never seen before. That's why I am urging you guys to go to wearechange.org and in the top right hand corner sign up on our email list. Now, I'm not saying there's any reason for us to be gone. We do legitimate, honest journalism with sourcing, but let's be honest here, your politics mean more than the truth in our modern day and age. And hey, it's best to rely on one-on-one contact between me and you. Don't get too excited by that phrase, because I'm specifically referring to my email rather than a third party, a company. It's just me, you, mano a mano, direct contact through our email list. Go to wearechange.org, put your email in there, click subscribe, and we're also going to be sending you exclusive content only for people on that email list. So yeah, make sure you do that. And specifically, thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for everyone keeping us going here on wearechange.org/donate. Obviously, we are incorrectly demonetized by YouTube, and that's why your support, just $5 a month, means the absolute world to us. There's ways to support us through cryptocurrencies, Venmo, the Cash App, physical mail, our affiliate sales, ways without spending any money. We have it all laid out on wearechange.org/donate. Click on it right now and scroll through to see all of the options that you could very easily just support us. Now, I think it's pretty fair to say that our current events are pretty wild, and it's very fair to say that it's only going to get wilder from here. And there's a lot of people asking some questions. One of them is how the United States government could spend $750 billion annually on defense, and yet the center of America's government falls in 2 hours to the Duck Dynasty and a guy in a Chewbacca bikini. And I would say that's a pretty relevant question to ask now. But regardless of what you think happened or didn't happen, this event is being used by many to galvanize political power for themselves. They're trying to label this a major, serious coup attempt, because if you make the problem as severe as you can, the solution, the reaction, will equal more power and authority to those individuals hyping it up, scaring other people about it. That's historically what has happened in government, and in my opinion, anyone labeling this a legitimate coup attempt is disingenuous and is exploiting this event for political power. And sadly, there's a lot of people doing this. And the fact that the United States president denounced his own supporters and conceded defeat. And as Michael Tracy points out in his own article, saying, quote, "Only in your imagination was this an attempted coup." Now, it's also important to note that the same people hyping this up as some legitimate major threat are also the same people that have laid the foundation and groundwork normalizing political violence to achieve their means, like Vox, CNN, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, MSNBC. I could go on and list the indications of when they excused political violence and now they are detesting it, which really doesn't send a clear message at all, and as allsides.com points to, of course, massive media bias. But now, of course, these same individuals want vengeance, even when many prominent right-wingers, including Donald Trump himself, are calling out the bad actors here and the people who became violent. But in the midst of all of this, who argued, who debated, and who decided that the best thing to do in this situation is to give all the authority to our most important sacred rights to individuals like Mark Zuckerberg, who of course have their own special interests, who of course have their own political opinions, who of course are part of a massive multinational corporation that has been proven time and time again to be unethical. And even other lefties like Emily Ratajkowski is even tweeting messages like this right now saying, quote, "This gives Facebook tech Zuck the most power. If he can shut the president off, he can shut any of us off." And she absolutely makes a very good point. She also retweets people asking questions about how did the intelligence agencies not see this coming. The leftist Mexican president even came out and said that it shouldn't be Facebook and Twitter deciding who can communicate, specifically referring to their censorship of U.S. President Donald Trump. Rob Schneider sent out this message saying, "Dissent is the cornerstone of democracy. Censorship is the cornerstone of totalitarianism," referring, of course, to a Glenn Greenwald tweet talking about how Silicon Valley tech oligarchs are literally exerting their power unilaterally with no standards, accountability, or appeal. And that is a major issue of concern for everyone essentially paying attention right now, since, as Edward Snowden puts it correctly, this is going to be a major turning point that is setting a very dangerous precedent. This essentially signals how the tech oligarchs have more power than the sitting U.S. president. This is ridiculous. This is insane. And this is a major transfer of power that should be acknowledged and not just cheered on like it is by the U.S. mainstream media, that it is literally in their pockets and working for them. Yes, there was violence at the Capitol, but the dangers, the really significant dangers, are what's coming next, since we are seeing authoritarian solutions being brought out against individuals like this that the mainstream media is absolutely fear-mongering about. Now, of course, this is just one facetious example that I'm using here, and obviously the events are more convoluted than just represented by this picture, but you get the point of what I'm trying to say here. And again, we can't underplay that the fact is that 5 people have died in some kind of way or result from this major event. Now again, we still don't know the exact details what happened to the 5th death with this police officer, but we're going to find out. But that still hasn't stopped many in the media to trump up more charges revolving this specific incident on all of the individuals who participated in the rush to the Capitol. And that's not the only power grab being tried here. There's also CNN literally trying to get Fox News taken down, as literally Oliver Darcy of CNN is going after cable companies, trying to lobby them to make sure that they don't have a way to broadcast their news program, if you could call it a news program. U.S. representatives are calling for more no-fly lists without any due process, something, of course, that we've seen after 9/11 that was absolutely abused. And now the House Homeland Security Committee is now asking the FBI and the TSA to add perpetrators of this Capitol incident to the no-fly list. There's a hashtag going on right now saying, quote, "Poll Parlor," which of course is a very popular conservative social media site. Efforts, of course, promoted by the competition, the other big tech oligarchs, and of course the mainstream media journalists that they work with. We're also getting information that Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and even Donald Trump's son, Don Jr., may be charged over what happened, as the U.S. Speaker of the House is literally demanding that the U.S. President leave office immediately, or, quote, Congress will proceed with their actions. All of this as she literally just spoke to the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman to discuss preventing Donald Trump from, quote, initiating any military hostilities or accessing the launch codes and ordering a nuclear strike. Yes, Nancy Pelosi is trying to, of course, prevent Donald Trump from initiating any military action. As, of course, it's also important to point out here, she is the representative that made it normal for a president to unilaterally decide military action. Specifically talking about the Iraq War here. There used to be a good old time in the United States where actually the government would debate and decide unilaterally if we would go to war. That, of course, is not happening anymore. But obviously you see the correlation with people saying this is an extremely dangerous coup d'etat. Everyone must go to jail. Everyone must be punished, even if they are just milling about aimlessly. And even going as far as to punish news organizations, social media websites, books, and individuals who were Trump supporters. And when you're going that far to go after innocent people, to go after people for having a political opinion, this is going to have an extremely negative reaction. The thing that should happen here is we should all come to the table. We should all be able to talk. We should all be able to converse in a way where we could resolve all of these problems. And as I've argued before, the censorship would pushes more people to the fringe. The algorithms, the mainstream media that promote hyperbolic, sensational nonsense, with along the big tech companies that literally spur on mental health problems in the United States, are just some of these issues that we need to resolve that are adding fuel to the fire to this very complex problem that we're dealing with. More of the same fuel, more of the same ingredients to this big crap storm that is here is only going to make it worse. And I've been pleading, I've been warning people for years. You could go back through my videos. I've been warning and telling you there's a big chance for a big civil conflict. And let's just be honest here, the picture of our current modern day events are not pretty. There's so many other things I could say, but it's really our vigilance that is more important than ever. This information that is critical to de-escalating, to calming things down. And sometimes those things are swept away with the massive waves of censorship that come and go, that prevent it from being a discussion. That's absolutely crazy in my opinion, and that's why I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively sharing and getting this video out to your friends and family members. Even if you disagree with me, or if you don't like me, or if you don't like the way I look, fine, that's cool. Take one of the articles that I shared with you, go into a web search, type in the title, you'll be able to find it right away. Share it with your friends, family, strangers, whoever you may have around you to start the conversation, because in my opinion, it's still not too late to try to stop a lot of the madness that is sure to ensue. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much again for watching. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.